Busy Phillips, I heard you found out about the Netflix season 3 pickup for Girls5eva on the plane.
I
Is that right?
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what was your reaction, and did you scream and disrupt your fellow travelers?
I was no, I mean yes, but also it was actually just one of those moments. I was flying back to New York from LA. Um I was in this is I was in first class, but my seat was broken.
Sure.
And it was like so broken that it was like almost like I kind of was like leaning forward a little bit. And my phone started ringing and it was Paula Pell. And we had been waiting and waiting for news and obviously couldn't answer the phone. But so then we started texting and then emails started coming in. And I just felt like this is just life. You know what I mean? I'm like so uncomfortable right now physically. and and I'm so elated that this opportunity has been given to us to come back to do this thing that we love so much one more time, at least, hopefully more. Um, and yeah, I was like really excited, but I sort of didn't even have anyone to share it with. You know what I mean? So
Everyone is sleeping around you in their perfect first class seats.
everyone was cozy and sleeping, and I was like kind of slightly leaned forward and just like, oh my God.
This sounds like something that we would see on the show itself. It's like you book first class and
I,
then the seats are shot.
I can't even explain to you how frequently all of our lives, but my life, I feel like is reflective of, or I have a very Girls Five Eva moment within whatever wonderful thing is happening. Um, but I guess that's just kind of like what life is in a way, you know?
For sure. I mean, well,
Something.
I'm very happy the show got a second chance. A very thematic in theme with the show itself of second chances, but
Totally.
especially for Summer because this season she really finds herself like in who she is without Kev or any other guy in her life. It's a
Any other
what did
man.
yeah, any man. Like what did Meredith Scardino discuss with you before the season about her arc?
Well, to be honest, we like sort of just had to hit the ground running and typical Girls Five Eva fashion, Um we really talked a lot about Summer's evolution, especially starting from season one, Summer's voice and the way that she uh related to the other girls and sort of all of the things that she felt just very insecure about. And even in season two, when they're going on tour and she's like, well, you guys will have fun without me. Like I can't do this. And I was never really that important to the group anyway. And I think what's so beautiful about the arc of this season is not only does she sort of find her place, but she's finally realizing her own value, and it's like outside of like whatever she's wearing or however her voice is, how deep her vocal fry might be. It really has to do with what she's able to contribute and have the confidence in herself that her ideas are good and that she can contribute a lot to these women and that they all need each other.
Yeah, I feel like, it's kind of like a running joke, like from the beginning of this series that she's been kind of disempowered, but this season we really see her empowered. She becomes a CEO, and it's kind of it's like it's still a joke at first of tooth smarts and everything, but she saves the day at the Radio City, and no one would have expected her to, right? Like,
I know she really does. Yeah, and I think that like I know there's something just so full circle about all of it when you watch from the first episode where she's really like driving it, which you don't, which by the way, I didn't even really clock until I rewatched the whole series when it moved to Netflix. I had forgotten that in the pilot, she's the one that's like, come on, Dawn, we got to do this. I'll go with you. I'll drive. Like, let me do it. Let's do it. And she's the one who really wants it because she's got literally nothing else going on in her life except for living in the past. So then for her to have, yes, like this journey that is ridiculous with the tooth smarts, and burning all of her clothes and, making new clothes out of all of the stuff from the divorced dad's sweetlet. Um, but then she gets to this like very, incredible moment where she's like, wait a minute, I know how to do this. I can do this.
Yeah, she's trusting her gut and
Yeah,
it's ingenuity,
yeah, 100%.
Mhm. I love the whole Too Smarts thing, especially in I think the third episode, right? Yeah, when you're in
Yes.
Maryland and your teeth are glowing, and it reminded me of Ross's teeth on Friends
Oh my God, totally.
when he went. Like, did you draw inspiration from the one with Ross's teeth?
No, I actually didn't even think about it until just now,
Oh my
but
gosh,
I do love that episode. I do love that
iconic
episode.
episode
Iconic.
when they turn off the light and it's glowing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They actually had, it was funny because the makeup department, we had this special effects guy come in. I think he's like from SNL, the guy that does all their prosthetics. And he came in and he was like making all these molds of my teeth and doing this whole thing. And the molds came back and I was like, couldn't talk with them in my mouth. And it wasn't right. Like, it was just so, I was like, how is this going to work? This is so bizarre. And then literally, I think because I had been talking about it so much, I mean, obviously, again, Girls5eva, art imitating life, imitating art. Something popped up on my Instagram that was like paint for your teeth. And so the makeup artist was like, oh yeah, that's right. There is some weird paint we can get them and we can put it on your teeth. And at the end of the day, we just did that. We just used this like paint
Oh my
stuff.
God. So it was like like real world version of Tooth Smarts.
Kind of. It was a little too smartsy. Yeah, but I had this like bizarre stuff painted on my teeth. And who knows if it was toxic or not? I'm hoping
I mean, you're
not.
still alive, right? So
I'm still for now,
yeah, for
we're good.
now. So you didn't leave it on for a whole day like Ross did.
I did.
You did?
I did. Yeah. Well, yeah, we were filming. I left it on for days. I mean, I did use it. No, every time I would brush my teeth, it would come off. We'd have to redo it. But like, or if I was going to eat, I would take it off first. It like peeled off. It was so
Mm. Have you
strange.
seen your dentist since then?
I have. I
Okay.
have.
So you're
100%.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I love about the show is that it's obviously very goofy, but it's very relatable. Like all the themes and the concepts are very relatable. And one of them with Summer this season is her being a relationship chameleon. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a real thing. Like, especially when we're young and dumb and we start dating and we're like, I'm gonna like whatever my significant other likes. And then you realize, when you break up, like, oh, I didn't actually like that thing.
Of course.
Yeah, so you related that to that too? Like what was your
I think
reaction
it's,
when
I
you
think,
came across that?
oh God, I think it's so relatable. And I love the song. I love the
Oh, the
Adele
Witcher song?
ballad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Do I
Is
even
there a
like The
me?
Witcher? Yeah.
Is there a me? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, is there a me or is me just guys? I just
Yeah.
think it's so brilliant. Yeah, I mean it's nice that you say when we're young we do that, but I think that people do that of
It's true. We still,
all
yeah, and we
ages.
we try to stop ourselves, but maybe we
Yeah,
realize it a little bit later. Yeah.
I think that it's somewhat natural
Mhm.
of an inclination when you like someone, you want to like the things they like and you want them to like you more, so maybe you like things more that they like, even if you're not sure if you really like them. I just love her having this realization that her entire life has been ruled by the male gaze and by men in her life of varying, levels of authority, you know, sort of dictating to her what she should wear, how she should be, what she should do, and thinking then she's going to go off and be this new person and then coming back and just having done it again with Randy, and then having to like actually face it. um I think it's so interesting, and it's heartbreaking, and it's also just very, very relatable, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my God, it's just like Meredith's mind. And like it's so real. And it's like presented in such a fun way with her
Yes.
and like Randy and like the leather getup and everything.
Which, by the way, I had never worn chaps before, and let me tell you,
How was that?
it's kind of great. I was very into them. I liked them.
Did you save the pair? Steal it
I
from
didn't.
wardrobe?
I
No,
didn't. No.
no. Well, going back to what you were saying earlier about like you relating to a lot of aspects of the show, the fourth episode I really love with like, I mean, obviously the show is about Y2K nostalgia, but that's when Taffy invites you guys to perform at her party because it's her posters from her teen
Come
years
to
come to
life.
life. And
Yeah.
I was like, that is so meta for you because you're part of so many cultural touchstones from that time that mean a lot to people, like Freaks and Geeks, Dawson's Creek, and White Chicks is gonna be 20 this year, which is insane. So what did that whole storyline mean for you and what did you think of it?
It's really interesting. Like, I think one of the most brilliant parts of Meredith Scardino's writing and the way that they've been able to weave in, some of this kind of like cultural criticism and reflection with nostalgia and, I mean, so obviously so much humor and hard jokes, and you never feel exactly like you're being judged for having enjoyed a thing that then in retrospect you're like, wait a minute, maybe
It's
that's not,
problematic. Like
maybe
now
that's
we
problematic.
understand it to be problematic.
Now we know.
Yeah.
And I think for myself, a lot of in my 30s, I think I did have a lot of feelings about some of the stuff from my early career, that particular time, that I felt very much in line with Dawn on, where I didn't really even see the value of it because all I had was my own experience. And when she first gets there and she's somebody, I can't remember exactly what the line is, and she's like, "Oh, all I remember is that Fred Durst put shit in a super soaker, and they thought that was super fun." Like, I definitely relate so hard to that. Uh, Having your own experience and your own, you know, I had my own like values back then. At times I was sort of confronted with things that I was like, this is so horrible. And I know it is, but this industry and I just have to do it. And I actually was thinking about the Taffy England episode recently, in terms of the fact that, like, in the last couple years, honestly, since I've been doing this show, it really has helped me reframe the things that I was a part of in the late 90s, early 2000s, and the projects, and reframe it in terms of what it meant to other people as opposed to what my personal experience was as the performer going through it, being subjected to some of the things I was asked to do or told to do, or comments about my body, or, things that at this time hopefully aren't still happening to young performers in this industry, although I don't know. Because I'm not a young performer anymore. I'm an old performer.
Not that old, but
I'm not that
hopefully things
old,
are getting better. Yeah.
but I'm not 19, you
No,
know?
neither am I. So
So, so yeah, I actually really just, I really love that episode so much. And I love that the Dawn sort of comes around in the realization that like, we got to hold all the things. Like we have to hold both feelings. We can be nostalgic and like have fondness for the projects and also recognize that behavior a lot of times was not okay, that we were treated in ways that were not okay, and make peace with it and not let that ruin the totality of the thing.
yeah, for sure. And I love the way that Taffy puts it to her. It's like it's about the way it makes us feel. Like she was
Yeah.
like that's nostalgia, dum dum.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it
nostalgia,
reminds me
Dum
of a
Dum.
simpler time in my life before everything
Yeah.
went to shit. So,
Yeah.
well, the season ends on a cliffhanger. Fingers crossed for season four.
Yes.
What would you like to see happen in season four for them besides doing the song for the female Garfield movie?
Hilarious. I mean, I do think it would be nice to see some wins. I think that we're ready for it. We're ready to see those girls have a moment where they win. Um, and I'm ready for it for us too. So all that to say, I'm ready for season four.
Hmm. I mean, maybe that'll be like a number one hit or something, like
Yeah,
whatever the track is. So,
that would be great.
mhm. Yeah, I've talked to Paula and Sarah, and they're both are like, yeah, we like to see them have a win too, but also be brought back down to earth. Like you can't win too much. We need medium time.
Yeah, I'm all about the win right now. So I'm gonna just go straight win.
Wait,
That's what I'm
like
looking forward
the
to.
big time. Sorry to Richard Kind.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want the big time. I'm done with the medium time.
Yeah,
I want for Girls 5eva, I want them to have the big
it's
time.
time. It's been long enough in
Time.
the
I would
medium
love to
time.
see it on their own terms
Exactly.
that they've done themselves. Like, I think that would be so empowering and so rad to see?
Yeah, for sure. Well, lastly, you launched your return to talk shows this week. Busy this week on
I
QVC
did.
Plus, and you had the
Yeah,
girls on the premiere
I did last
yesterday as
night.
we were recording this. So what can we expect on this new venture? You
Um,
hosted Busy Tonight a couple years ago, so
I did. This is all true.
mhm.
All very true.
I watched it.
You watched which one? The show
A Busy
last night?
Tonight. I watched that
Oh,
one.
Busy Tonight.
Hmm.
We loved our show. I loved doing that talk show. And, in spite of the fact that it was canceled, I still maintain and look back on that show as being a success, like a huge success, in fact. And I think that returning to a late night space was always a goal for Casey, St. Ange, and myself. And these last few years have obviously been really complicated in our industry for a myriad of reasons, the pandemic being the first one. Um, and but we had always been kind of like working toward figuring out a way to do another late night show because we do know there's an audience for it that would love to relax at the end of the night and have someone who's making a show for them with the kind of things that we want to talk about or we think are interesting with the guests that we want to see. And QVC has been an incredible partner so far. I think we just have to like kind of all think outside the box sometimes in terms of how to make things and how to get things done when it feels like the traditional channels are closed off to what you're trying to accomplish, especially as a woman. So we have obviously like that's where there's a great audience there for us. And the show is going to be sort of, just we want to continue what our kind of mission was with Busy Tonight. It's just giving us a little treat, something we want to watch, maybe a cocktail, maybe a cheese plate.
Lot of
I don't know.
cocktails. Yeah.
Gotta have a cocktail.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't gotta, but it's fun. Um,
Recommended. Yeah.
it's recommended. And we have some really amazing guests for this first like run of shows that we're gonna do. And we're gonna see how it all works. I'm very excited about it. We've been having a great time. It's like most things I do, it's like hit the ground running, and we don't have a ton of time to like even have it all plotted out. I mean, what a luxury time and money is. Just not a thing I've ever been given much of either in the projects that I'm doing. So we're happy to like, make it in any way we can. So
It's more relatable that way, I feel like too.
I mean,
It's not super polished, I think.
no, it's not.
Very relatable.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But like again, I'm like, still a working mom, like still have these kids that require a lot of time and energy and love. And I have a bunch of other things that I'm doing, and I just feel like I don't know. I'm so far we've been having such a great time, and I'm excited for people to get into it, and I hope that our audience is excited as well. I think they are. I mean, if
Mhm.
my Instagram DMs are any
All of
indicator.
them, all your followers. Just go follow.
My,
Go to QVC Plus.
I mean, people, I mean, no, I just today, because it premiered last night, just today, like there have been so many really lovely people like reaching out on my Instagram DMs.
It's
How much
slow
they
and
love.
steady, like Girls5eva. So, and then the big time.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, slow and steady is definitely the way that this has been going. So yeah, yeah,
Well, Vizzy, it was great speaking with you. Thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on
yeah.
season 3 and Busy this week. And again, fingers crossed for season 4.
We're excited. I think it's like we're gonna leave the medium time in last season. We're going
Yeah,
big time.
big time, big time. Well, text Meredith right now.
I will. Thanks,
Thank
Joyce.
you.